Hello guys, once again it's Matt, and today we have another video. Thank you all the members, all the patrons. Make sure to subscribe, guys. We are trying to hit 50,000 subscribers until the end of the year, and let's hop in. So today we are testing out the radar on the YAK-41, and I have to tell you guys something. This is the first PESA radar, technically PESA radar of the game. It is electronically scanned in the vertical mode. It is the radar of the MiG-29M, but a little bit smaller on the scan antenna, so it has a little bit less range than that radar. So yeah, this is modern, guys. This is a very modern radar. Like, it's not a fully PESA radar yet, or a fully IESA radar, but it is the first one in the game that we have this electronic scanned thing. And you can feel the difference. Even being a smaller radar than the MiG-29, we are testing out the radar here against an F-14, and I just detect it at 100 kilometers. But that's more due to the fact that the scale, it is basically limited to 100 kilometers for some reason. They need to add the 200 kilometer mark and the 500 kilometer mark that some of these aircraft had. The 200 is for the N010, so I doubt that this aircraft, this radar, doesn't have that as well. And yeah, it is just much better than the N019 that we have in the MiG-29. This is literally the best radar in the Soviet Tech tree. It even is better, it's probably the best radar in the game, to be honest. We will need to wait until we actually see the Tornado ADV with its own radar, because it has the YAK-9 now as a placeholder. So in the future we will see what that thing is capable of. But yes, this is one of the most modern radars ever made, to be honest, at that time, in the 80s, right? So yeah, very scary. And this is like a mini MiG-31, basically. It is, look at this detection range, man. It is a, think about this, guys. It is a radar that weighs 200 kilos, 220 kilos, something like that. It is a radar the size of an APG-66, but it's detecting targets at more than 100 kilometers, big targets. F-16, stuff like that, it should detect at 80, 90 kilometers, something like that. And big targets like the F-14 should detect it at 100, 110, 120. This is level of F-15 and Su-27 levels of range without having that weight, the double the weight in the radar, and the larger antenna that those aircraft have. So yeah, technology, right? It is amazing. I cannot say how cool this radar is. Even in the side looking, look how much degrees it can actually look around. 85 degrees. It almost looks at 90 degrees to the right or to the left. It is amazing, amazing. It's, if you know and if you do BVR in this game, you know that this radar is amazing. And be aware of this aircraft, guys. I was actually expecting a lot less from the Yak, but I actually didn't understand exactly what it was and how it performed. And after reading the Gordon Yeffing's books on the MiG-29, on the YAK-41, I can kind of understand how these things came to be with the radar and systems. I need to finish all the books, right? But still, you can see that it is, in fact, the N010 radar. And yeah, it's just amazing, amazing. Be careful with this. The only thing that will kind of cap this radar is these missiles. If you didn't saw, like 20 seconds ago, the Phoenixes were exploding in the air, and the R-27s are also exploding in the air. So I don't know, the battery life, the time of flight of these missiles, they're pretty low, to be honest. It's really hard to fire from above 70 kilometers or 60 kilometers and get a kill. I understand, I know, it's 70 kilometers. Where are you going to even get kills with that, right? But the thing is, it kind of doesn't matter. If it's unrealistic, it needs to be fixed, right? So yeah, but yeah, it's just amazing, man. It really is an amazing aircraft. I think it is just great in turning capabilities, the performance, the engine. It is fully fly-by-wired. It is fully digital, so it is a very, very modern aircraft. I ended up dying for an M7F. We are not actually trying to evade the missile, just cranking to see how I was going to actually hit that, but I ended up without missiles there, so yeah, should have 4 R-27s to begin with, right? But anyway, it is an aircraft that, yes, it is going to be better than the MiG-29 in many situations. This is a late 80s tech aircraft, see, 99 kilometers, so it is a late 80s kind of situation of technology, right, in radar, in weapons and others. The only problem that I see that this aircraft have that you really need to be careful, and I will try to make videos talking a little bit about how we need to actually do some dogfights and stuff to actually compare, and I will do some videos like that. But the only problem that this aircraft have is that it turns so much that it loses a lot of energy turning. It's like a Mirage 3, if you know what that looks like. So you really need to be careful with that. And I was not expecting it. It is fully a very dangerous aircraft and one of the best in the game, if not the best aircraft in the game. I still think that the MiG-29 is going to be easier to fly, but in the right hands, this aircraft with this radar and these missiles, yeah, it's going to be a tough thing to beat, man. It really is going to be a tough thing to beat. So yeah, pretty cool, right? And here we are just trying to lock and get people. We tried to see if the battery life actually worked here. We combined, like him and I were going to just shoot the missile and continue the flight path without the afterburner to see which missile actually kills you first, right? But it ended up that nobody killed anybody, so kind of problematic, right? But it's more due to the fact of that battery life kind of thing. As I said, nothing too major. It's like it's the same thing as the scale of the radar. It needs to be more than 100 kilometers in these radars. But I mean, will you ever use it? Yeah, not really, right? But if the F-14 has it, if the ADV will have it, and other aircraft have it, yeah, this thing needs to have that too. So yeah, I don't know how that missile just missed. I fired from 60 kilometers and I almost got him. If he didn't turn, I was actually going to hit him. Then I wasn't with any other missiles anymore, and I decided to go cold because of the M7Fs. So yeah, it is very fun to fly it, and the next clip that I will show to you guys, it is going to be showing a little bit compared to the MiG-29, and you will see that the radar on the MiG-29 is a lot worse than this one. But yeah, obviously it's a late 70s radar, right, compared to a late 80s radar. The N010 was basically done in 1985, 86. It was tested fully in 1987 to be actually used in the MiG-29M. So yeah, and I plan to do something like a diving down series of videos, you know, on these aircraft. On the YAK-41 probably I will be doing that during this week, I think. So keep an eye on that. So yeah, and here we just made it a little dogfight to compare with the F-14. The F-14 has no chance. I mean, it's just very easy to win it. It is just a very big aircraft, and the YAK is just light and nimble, and it has a lot of power. So yeah, it's very easy to get on his 6, as you see here. He was trying to outpower me here, and as you're going to see, it really doesn't work. This Soyuz engine is amazing. It really is something else. But yeah, let's see. If I had an R-73 here, I probably would have killed him before here. But yeah, then I tried to use the thrust vectoring, and yeah, just very easy kill with an F-14, right? And then we're going to go for the MiG-29, as I said, to compare it to the YAK-41, just for you to see. So I just detected with the YAK-41, the F-14 I detected at around 100 kilometers due to the scale. And here, as you see, the F-14 is locking me, and I just have no idea where he is. Of course, I am using the MiG-29 912A, which is the exported variant of the MiG-29, but the range, everything like that, the performance of the radar is basically the same as the normal Soviet one, so don't worry about that, okay? And as you see, the radar takes a lot more time to, not a lot more time, but it does tend to be a little bit slower. And then I detect it at 80 kilometers, which is 100% realistic. This is the textbook detection against an F-14 from the front, like that. So yeah, pretty cool. It is very realistic, the ranges on these radars. But as you see, it is problematic even to get a lock. You only can get a lock from about 60 kilometers instead of the 80 something that I can do with the YAK-41 with the Zhuk radar. So yeah, the Rubin, which is the N010, which is this radar, it is very limited compared to that. So in the BVI arena, the YAK-41 will definitely be better than the MiG-29. In the dogfights, I will have to do the dogfights yet, but still it is, I think it's going to be close. The YAK-41 is a very good aircraft. And I just try to maintain the lock. We were trying to do max range shots, obviously not very realistic. If it was a real battle, I would probably fire a missile like more closely to the target and not from 60 kilometers, because he was trying to crank, as you see, and yeah, it wasn't working very well, obviously. So for my missile, I mean. So yeah, it's problematic, right? But this skin is so good. The MiG is so beautiful, and the missile almost got him actually. So yeah, it's close. Yeah, as you saw, the missile passed it like some meters away from him. If I had a second missile there, he wouldn't have been been dead basically. So yeah, but anyway, and then we went for a dogfight here that we will see. But as I said, YAK-41, a deadly aircraft. In the right hands with that radar, it is going to be difficult to defeat that thing, man. And I need to actually test some minor things, like, for example, notching capabilities against that radar, other types of ways to actually dodge that. Because it's still a pull-stopper radar, you will have the same problems as normal pull-stopper radars will have. Doesn't mean that if it's a PESA, it's just like completely invulnerable to that, but it is indeed a little bit better than the other ones. And they need to add the other modes for their radar. Their radar can lock 2 targets at once, or even 4, depending on the aircraft. I don't know if the YAK-41 version of that actually can do that, but to actually be able to shoot 2 R-77s or even 4 R-77s against 4 different targets, right? So these are things that need to be added. Even the F-14 doesn't have that yet. So yeah, it's something that we really need in the game. And here I was just messing and not being able to shoot anything. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and I see you guys on the next one. Leave it in the comments what you think about this radar, and bye, guys. See you.